Hello and welcome to your build-up show. I almost said talk a good game there. It's not talk a good game, it's your build-up show.
It's not.
West Ham against Watford live in kick-off in 1 hour and 5 minutes away, which means the lineups are 5 minutes away. Early team news, unconfirmed early team news. There's one change at West Ham, but I'll be right back with the confirmation of the lineup when we get it. How you feeling, Gonzo?
That's right, you just said right back.
Did you like it? Was that a good pun?
Is it on purpose?
I thought I'd put a little clue.
Oh, nice. You see, normally I'm quite slow and sloth-like, but I picked up on that.
You did, yeah, you did pick up on that. So.
Oh, well, that would be juicy. Let's not talk about it yet.
No, let's not.
Sorry, what was your question?
How you feeling?
Oh, I'm all right. Yeah, not bad. Thanks, mate. Yeah, really looking forward to it, actually. Quite excited. Big game. Proper game. I miss these games, you know. I don't mean
relegation battles.
You're about to get relegated. No, I miss important games that mean something. And, it should be good. Look, I'd rather it was for, a semi-final of an FA Cup or to get into, Europe or something like that. But it's not. But it does mean something. And it's going to be a massive... I find it's so fascinating, these contests, regardless of the sport. Pearson against Moyes, them, sort of locking horns tactically, seeing what they're doing.
I think you're doing them both a bit too much credit. Pearson and Moyes are locking horns tactically.
Tactically, yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. Pearson and Moyes are on the touchline and have picked 11 players with some tactics.
Wow, whatever. Anyway, they pick the players. Who's been able to G them up most? Whatever. It's a competition. Competition between the managers. Competition between the players. Got the leadership contest going on. I don't mean an election or anything like that here. I mean, is it Deeney, Noble, or Rice, the vice captain, shall we say? Some really interesting duels out on the pitch. Interesting players matching up with other ones. The battle of the midfield is going to be really interesting today. There's just so much to look forward to. I think I think it's going to be quite a frustrating game, which will ebb and flow. I think there'll be exciting times when we attack. I think there'll be squeaky bum where we look like we've fully retreated and we're inviting them onto us. I just think the whole lot. This is what sport is about for me. We don't know the outcome. It's not a processional Formula 1 race where we know who's going to win. This is going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah, I agree with you about this is what, I'll say football because I'm not into enough sport to comment otherwise, but this is what football's for me. It's about drawing emotions out of people. This is what you sign up for as a football fan when your football team. You're investing in emotions, aren't you? You give emotions. You want to get something drawn out of you, and that site's going to have it all, really, whether it ends in sky high cloud nine thing, relief, or a bit of anger and upset. Anything can come of this. That's why the review will be good. If we win, we'll be happy, and if we lose, I'm going to be angry if we lose. But I'm pretty calm at the minute. I was more nervous for the Norwich game. I don't know why. I think I found Norwich as an uncertain quantity, and actually I'm going to say I was proven correct to an extent, because against Chelsea they had a good go at Chelsea. And I actually thought that that's how they were going to play against us. But they didn't, because they weren't already down. But now they were down, the whole relaxed things come about them. I mean, they had a pop at Chelsea during the week. But tonight, I just think there's a lot of pressure on Watford. I would say it's a more important game for Watford than West Ham, perhaps. Just come up with that one. Just thought that one up.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
But I just think there's so much pressure on them. I just think they're going to be more nervous than us. A point is better for us than it is for them tonight. And I just don't think they're that good enough. I've watched them plenty since. It's probably the team I've watched most, bar West Ham, since Project Restart's come back. And I just don't see enough there to suggest that they are up for a fight. They won last week against Newcastle with 2 penalties. They won the week before with a Danny Welbeck overhead kick. You cannot rely on pens and wonder goals to win your games. You just cannot do it. There's not enough variety in their attack and play. Saying that, I'm aware I could get bitten tonight, but I tell you what, that's why if we lose tonight, I'll be fuming, because this is not a good side. We're away play a side that could get relegated. I know we could as well, but we've got to be doing better than them. Team news will be out in 1 minute, but the unconfirmed. But Gonzo, Mark Noble, 500 appearance for West Ham tonight.
Remarkable, isn't it? Really, it's just to do that many games for one club is fantastic. It really has as I've said before, a terrible time really at West Ham. He's not had a. You look at his career at West Ham; it's not been. There's been a lot of ups and downs. There's been a lot of bad ownership. There's been a lot of bad managers. And he's been through it all and he's seen it all. He's done his 500 games for West Ham and what you consider to be turbulent times, and he deserves it. I don't want a party or a celebration or anything like that. But he does deserve it. I don't want him to come out and him get rosettes and shaky hands on the pitch and all the rest of it. I don't want any of that. All right. When the game's over, absolutely fine, no problem at all. But I just want him to get on with it, enjoy his 500th game, pick up a win in his 500th game. Then he can get the plaque and the trophy and all of that sort of the awards and the accolades and all that sort of thing. So, but yeah, it is a remarkable achievement, absolutely.
The team lineup is out and it's confirmed. There is one change, it's a forced change, and it's at right back. So Fabianski in goal. Ben Johnson comes in for Ryan Fredericks at right back. Diop, Ogbonna and Creswell making up the back four. Midfield 2 of Rice and Solchek. Mark Noble playing somewhere. And then Pablo Fornals, Jared Bowen and Mikel Antonio with the starting 11. There's an interesting addition on the bench, but what do you make of the starting 11?
I've just seen it on the bottom of the telly.
Big night for Ben Johnson.
Yeah, really wonderful. I just wonder how much Moyes will regret not having given him 10 minutes here or there. But Ngakia got his chance when it was unexpected and there was some injury, and he got in and he stayed in. So this is no pressure at all, yeah, but it's a massive opportunity for Ben Johnson to make a career for himself. Yeah. Not just, it's massive in that sense. If he plays brilliantly, as we alluded to when he did our breakfast show, Moyes is not one for changing things if you do well. And he showed it with Ngakia as well. If Johnson does brilliantly tonight and gets an 8 out of 10 performance, he's in for the next game. I think Moyes has shown that that's what he'll do. If he's in for the next game and he plays the next 3 and he does brilliantly, there's every chance that he is the next in line, even if we sell someone. It may well be it cements it in Moyes' mind. Think, actually, he's my guy there. He might still buy a right back, but he might think, okay, Johnson's there. It's a really good opportunity for him to show himself. I do worry about the fitness slightly, and Moyes was talking about that. He's come back from injury, but there's been chances and opportunities with the 5 subs to give him some minutes here and there, and there's been times when our fullback's been absolutely atrocious, and he still didn't bring him on. So I just hope Moyes doesn't regret that, and I just hope the training's been fit and firing enough that he can do the 90 minutes and come out unscathed. I
think it's a really big opportunity for him. I mean, it's almost like he's almost got a chance here to disrupt what is perhaps David Moyes or David Sullivan's summer transfer window plans here. Because at the minute, we're right back's a number one priority. It's certainly come across as a number one priority. Ben Johnson puts in 3 really big performances against tonight, Man United and Aston Villa. Then all of a sudden, you wouldn't be surprised if the manager or chairman turned around and said, well, actually, let's make the left back the number one priority because we'll give that guy a little bit of a chance there. It could be a blessing in disguise. Fredericks not playing, and I think it is, to be honest with you. I'm happy to say that I'm pleased to see Fredericks. Don't want him injured, obviously, but I'm pleased to see Ben Johnson start ahead of him. I just don't think Fredericks is very good. I don't think he's been very good recently. I thought he was awful against Burnley. I thought he was poor against Norwich, but luckily we won 4-0, so overshadowed his poor performances. It's a big opportunity for Johnson. I think he's got a decent enough opponent tonight. He's coming up against a decent enough opponent who isn't too difficult for him. He's not coming up against Sadio Mane or, he made his debut against Manchester City, so there's none of that tonight. This is one of the more comfortable opponents he's going to come up against in the Premier League, really, and he's got to take this opportunity. If he looks poor tonight, Ben Johnson, though, I don't know when Moyes will give him another opportunity unless he's forced into it injury-wise. I think he might even consider putting someone out of position for the next game if Ben Johnson blows his audition tonight. So it's a huge, huge night for the youngster. But the other 10, we suspected this might happen. But are you happy enough with the other?
Yeah, why not? Bring it on. What else can he do, really? Yeah, we played so well against Norwich. We could nitpick and say that Norwich were poor, which they were, but we have to assume that actually they would have played well anyway. And we had some form and some some performances in building up to this point. So I think we've been getting better as a team. There's no reason to think that won't continue. So why change the team? No reason to disrupt it whatsoever. And when you don't disrupt it at all, actually one coming in and one going out, well, that's fine as well.
Yeah, I've got one concern, but I'll get onto that in the final words thing. The bench, I'll just rattle through this and I'll have a look at the Norwich team. The bench is Randolph, Masuaku, Balbuena, Wiltshire, Anderson. Felipe Anderson's past fit enough for the bench. Lanzini, Yarmolenko, Sebastian Aller, and today we got permission for Connor Coventry. So Connor Coventry is on the bench because he was on loan, but we've got permission to use him in tonight's squad. So Connor Coventry is on the bench for West Ham tonight as well. So another big opportunity for a youngster. I don't think he'll come on the pitch. I don't see a scenario as to which, unless we're 4-0 up or something, as to which Connor Coventry, even when we're 4-0 up, I'm still sure he would come on. He still wouldn't come on. You'd look at Lanzini, Anderson, Wiltshire, all them, but it's a good thing for him to be involved in stuff. Right, the Watford team, which is quite important because that's our opponents. Ben Foster in goal, as you'd expect. The formation is as you'd expect with a 4-2-3-1 of Watford. Back four is unchanged from recently. Messina, Dawson, Kabasele and Firmino. Firmino's the right back, Messina's the left back. Midfield two of Will Hughes and Tom Cleverley. Troy Deeney up front with an attacking trio in behind him of Danny Welbeck, Decore and Sarr. As expected, the only player missing from Watford from that is Kapui. No Kapui in centre midfield.
Yes, that's the only thing from our preview that was different, yeah.
So Tom Cleverley's come in there for him. But he's not on the bench either. I had a quick glance. He's not on the bench, so he's obviously injured. But that's a good thing for West Ham. No Kapui is one of their more reliable players.
Yeah, and Tom Cleverley's been around forever. He must be 50, 55 years of age or something now. Yeah, I mean, they've got some good players in there. They do. I mean, as I said, the Sarr thing worries me. Him isolating Cresswell, I think that's an area of concern. Obviously, Deeney, it goes without saying, but I do think Deeney's, well, obviously he has powers of leadership, but his main powers are aerial a lot of the time, and I do think we're quite good at that now. So I would expect our two centre halves and then the support they get from the central midfielders to be able to deal with him in the air. I'd rather don't worry about us in the air, and I think that's something that you have to. Look, I don't say it's necessarily going to be an easy game, although I have predicted that we will win relatively easily. I do think there'll be ebb and flow to the game. I do think they'll have periods where they attack. But do you know what, Joe? Bearing in mind, we are in a relegation tussle. Bearing in mind, there's been a massive break in football. Bearing in mind, we've got David Moyes as manager. I'm about as confident as it's possible to be, because I do actually think the team is getting better. I think what a load of lovely options he's got off the bench there, to be able to look on that bench and whether he does this or whether he doesn't, it's another matter, but to be able to look at there, and regardless of how you rate these players, to think, actually I can bring on Sebastian Haller and Yarmolenko and Felipe Anderson and Jack Wilshere and Lanzini. That's a pretty tasty old bench there. I like it. Why not? Bring it on. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm relieved to see Kapui not in there. Tom Cleverley's in there, so they've got a really... Kapui not playing just removes a little bit of their physical presence as well. So you've just gone and lost one of your big boys defensively for set pieces, and you replaced him with Tom Cleverley. He's not going to be picking anyone up for the header all of a sudden. So suddenly our biggest attacking threat at the minute has just got stronger without us doing anything. It's simply by Watford having to make a substitution. Their bench, I'll run through this, we're not going to discuss it. Mariappa, Pereira, Andre Gray, Pusetto, don't know who he is, Gomez, the goalkeeper, Shaloba, Pedro, Cathcart and Quina's on the bench as well.
There you go. Come back to fight.
We've all got a vision, haven't we?
We have now. Yeah, now you mentioned it. Yeah,
we can all see what's happening here. But yeah, looking at that Watford team is as expected. I'm still quite comfortable. I'm still pretty comfortable. I'll tell you my one worry, and that's Mark Noble. He does worry me because the role he was playing against Norwich, I'm still convinced a good team should have exposed that, Gonzo. A good midfield should have said, hang on a minute, we've got this geezer playing second striker. Let him play second striker. This extra room in the middle we've got now, let's use that. Now we'll go 3 against Rice and Souček and see what they can do. But Norwich are so insistent on coming down the sides with their fullbacks, it played into our hands big time. I'm not that confident, though, that Watford are good enough to expose the situation in there. However, if they have got their act together and they clued up. I do think Tom Cleverley is potentially better on the ball than Caputi, though. I do think Tom Cleverley is someone who will get the ball and try and dribble it rather than boot it to Troy Deeney. That is my worry. That is my worry in there, that there's a gap. Call it our Achilles heel, if you like, because it worked so well in the last game. But I think it worked so well because Norwich were just so bad. And I do. And how many times so we come on a review and we've been ranting about Mark Noble? It was Spurs, wasn't it? He was in the number 10 role and it just wasn't working. It was awful.
No. Yeah,
so
of course.
That's my only worry, that they expose that. I don't even know what role he's doing. Number 10, second striker, whatever.
Well, I spoke to my old man yesterday, and he was saying, because I said I was a bit worried about Mark Noble, and he said to me, so we can blame him if it goes wrong. He said actually he thinks Mark Noble is actually always at his best when he's surrounded by good players who are on form. And he was saying, he thinks it can often mask quite a lot of stuff. So I took on board what he said there, and if he's, so it may well be that if Souček and Rice are really very dominant, and Antonio is, it makes Mark Noble's job a hell of a lot easier, and then he can maybe start to spray his passes around.
Yeah, but you can say that about anyone. As much as I've just criticised this thing, it's not really Mark Noble I'm criticising, it's more his position. I think it's a position that's not fit for Mark Noble. I see Mark Noble as almost like a deep-lying playmaker, if you like. So I don't know why he's running around in the number 10 thing, but he played well against Norwich. Noble, he played well. We both gave him second man in the match, if you like. I think we both had Antonio as man of the match, and Noble and Souček were just behind him, kind of thing. But I think just worries me a little bit.
I'm gonna say what I said ahead of Norwich, which is I said don't be surprised if Mark Noble was man of the match that day. I would be surprised if the 500th game and all the rest of it. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a barnstormer, if he is absolutely up for this. Him being up for it though worries me a little bit, because he runs around constantly, and sometimes I don't think it's the best thing to do. I think he's running around too much in a way. Well, he's capable of. I understand what you're saying. Positionally, it ain't great. It's something we need to address. I wouldn't rule out him having a very good game. That's all I'm saying.
Right, let's have a bit of fun. We've got 2 minutes. We've got a few minutes, and Charlie and Tom go live with the watch along. So we're going to have a little bit of fun, Gonzo. We're going to put a cheeky fiver on, and if it wins,
we're
going to give the money away to somebody that's watching.
Well, I'm watching.
Not you, because you're going to help do the bet. So
all right.
We both think West Ham are going to win. Who do you think will score for West Ham?
Oh, okay. Well, I did this. I did my bet.
But I don't want to know your one. What are you thinking, Antonio?
I said Souček would score in my one.
Who else?
I think I put Souček, Ogbonna, and Antonio in mine.
Right, okay. Antonio or Souček, who are we putting in the bet? One of them. We're not putting both in.
Well, you're going to have to put Antonio because we want the person to win the money.
Yeah, of course we do. What else do you fancy? Do you fancy anyone to get booked? Anyone, Watford or West Ham? What player? Give me 3 players.
I was for Watford or West Ham. Let's have a. Does Troy Deeney get booked much?
I'm not saying anything.
Let's have a go.
Right, okay, I'll tell you who I would perhaps go for. I'd perhaps go for Craig Dawson, because he does get booked a lot, but also I think we're going to play a bit counter-attacking tonight. I think Watford's going to come out at us, and Antonio's. He's a horrible person to deal with.
Yeah, that makes more sense than what I said. Yeah, you know more about these things than I do. Put him in.
Right, we'll stick him in. What else do you fancy? Do you fancy another player to get booked?
I think there'll be lots of corners.
Okay, for who? Or both teams?
Everyone, I don't know. More than, what do they do? More than 10, more than 11 corners combined? I don't know. More than 10 corners.
So more than 10 corners? Right, okay. That's 40 to 1.
I'm guessing. I don't know about these things.
That'll do. We'll stick a fiver on. £200 back. So if that wins, so we need Antonio to score, West Ham to win, Dawson to get booked, over 10 corners in the game. That wins, we're going to give someone 200 quid. How do they enter the 200 quid? How do they enter?
They've got to under this video. They've got to write. This time next year we'll be millionaires.
Okay, right, there you go. Under this video, right, this time next year we'll be millionaires. If that bet wins, someone's winning 200 quid. And we're not going to promote this on Twitter or anything, so only people watching this know about it. Okay. 200 quid up for grabs. Anyway, Gonzo, what's your final score prediction?
Look, last time we played a team in yellow, we were very good. We're playing a team in yellow tonight, We're going to be very good again, and we're going to win 3-1.
I'm sticking with 3-1 as well. This is rare for me and him saying the same one, 3-1. Charlie and Tom are going live in a minute. Stick around, don't go anywhere. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop a like on the video if you have. Me and Gonzo will be back straight after full time, but Tom and Charlie will be live in 1 minute. Don't go anywhere.